Okay, guys. I'm gonna mute you. Okay, so or you can mute yourself. Both Ajay and Thiru. Ajay, I'm
Sorry?
meeting. Can you mute yourself? I'm meeting you. Okay, don't worry. Okay, I muted both of you. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hand or type in something in message so that I can unmute you guys. So okay, last week we did look into what is Terraform and very basics of Terraform commands like Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, and Terraform show. And also we did had a quick talk about what is the advantages of the Terraform in DevOps world. So, and we looked into a couple of examples like how to create EC2 instances in AWS. So today I will be going through more advanced topics like Terraform interpolation and variables, backend, and how we are going to use the loops in Terraform and modules. All this with examples in AWS. So unless until you guys have any something specific you want to learn about it, otherwise I will be covering all this module. I mean all these topics. So that should be done with our Terraform course. Okay. So before that, do you guys want to know anything else other than this? So we'll be looking at the backyard variables, and also we'll be looking at loops, and we'll be looking at the backend, and we'll be looking at modules, Terraform modules examples. So this is the very important for enterprises. Of course, all of the above topics are also used, but this is the big topic. So without further ado, I'm gonna start looking into variables. So before that, last week, let me see. Okay, last week I sent you. Okay, last week I sent you Terraform examples URL, right? I think this is what we did. AWS example.terraform. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so let's clone this one again. So last week we looked into how to create the AWS instance in ESWS 2. Okay, so the first thing, last time we hard coded the access key and secret key for a provider. So that is not a secure way. So what you can do is instead of because when you're checking into the git or when you're checking into the some S3 remote backend, so what happens is, so this will get exposed. End of the day, it is going to be a security issue. So if someone else has this access keys and secrets key, done. You are done for your account, because they can spin off your lot of resources in your account, and you end up getting bill, surprise bill, like out of 5-6 lakhs or 7 lakhs, 10 lakhs, because they run bitcoins or something. So which is happened for my friend. Okay, so what happened is he was doing some kind of demo, and by mistake he checked in both access key and secret key. The next day morning, the people were running like M2 large machines, which is almost like it costed him 4-5 lakhs. But end of the day, the AWS account team able to waive off for one time. But when you get into that issue, please talk to them, but never use the secret, because this we did it because for the demo purpose. Okay, so for that, now what I need to do is I need to take these two out, and then what we need to do is we need to you can do in two ways. One is you can export this as a TF global variables. Okay, and Other way is if you use AWS log configure, right? So then you can give your access key, because it is going to prompt you for your region, access key, and secret key. That point of time, what it does is it will create a under the AWS config. It will create a credentials folder. But Terraform, when it is trying to initialize the provider, that time it will look for either in TFS or in the AWS folder, or either here either you specifically mention access key and secret key. So in our case now, last week we are done with here. So let's let me take this one, log the task. uh, that's fine. Sorry guys, okay. So because we need this one now very quick. So for that, what we need to do is let's open PyCharm. So where did we check out? We checked out in users, GuruK, desktop, Terraform examples. Let's go. Okay, perfect. Let me close the other one. Okay, cool. Okay, last week we looked into that, right? Let's now, I'm gonna remove these two, and I got the access keys. So the way you can export the I'm going to delete the secret keys. This is just for an example. So I'm going to export this both AWS access key and AWS secret key in my terminal, so that Terraform will come to know where are my credentials. This is my secret key. So in Windows, it's a set. In Linux, it is going to be what export. Did I copy or not? What? And pass secret key is going to be copy. Perfect. Now let's see. Now we need to go to Terraform examples. Okay, Terraform init. Okay, now the Terraform successfully initialized. Okay, let's look at our config. So there's nothing like access key and secret key. Now it is getting from environment variables. Okay, now let's see Terraform plan. You guys know what Terraform plan does, right? So before applying, it will show what will be your infrastructure is going to be get created. It's a blueprint of your apply. Okay, now apply Terraform, apply. See if that get worked. Okay, now let's go to EC2. We are in EC2. We are on where? US West 2, right? This would be the US West 2. Let's see if that is getting created or not. Okay, then you need to say what happened. I don't know why it took little time for some reason. I did try to control C. Usually it will not take this much time, but anyway, some maybe some issues with my internet or something. Okay, so it will go ahead and create the instances. Let's see if it is C now. So did we give the access key and secret key? That's the one way of doing that. Okay, now so credentials. So export it as a environment variables or AWS configure. So there it will use under the AWS credentials file. So same thing with AWS Azure too. So if you have a Azure access key or something, that's the credentials. You just need to export the environment variables or that one. So that will work out. Okay, now let's go back to so variables. Okay, now so you guys know what how to secure your credentials. Okay, now let's look into variables. So like any other programming language, Terraform also supports different variable formats. So depends on the usage. So there are two types of variables in Terraform. The variable one is input variables. So input variables are something it will use as part of the program. Okay, so it will be included as part of your configurations. Okay, so if you have some, for example, if you have a region, so you don't want to hard code it, if you are going to use that one in multiple places, so what you can do is you can put it as one variable and you can use those variables in your configurations. You don't need to multiple times, you don't need to define the same value, hard coded value at multiple times. So the input variables are used to define the values that can configure your infrastructures again and again without having to remember every time. Okay, so variables are two types. One is input variables, another one is output variables. So what are the input variables? It will, like if you want to use again and again in your configuration, right? So you don't need to hard code. So what you can do is you can define it as a input variable. Okay, and then so this can be used as part of your Terraform configs. This can be included as part of your Terraform config. So we'll look into examples, okay, in a minute. But before that, so what are the output variables? So output variables are different to that one. So output variables will once you're done with the Terraform apply, right? So during that part, it will outputs the variables. Okay, like for example, okay, you did Terraform apply, right? Let's look at what happened now. So you look at Terraform apply. Do you see anything? So how do you log into this machine? No, right? Okay, upgrade. Oops. Okay, that's bad. Okay, sorry. Usually it is that unlimited. Okay, so how do you do that? Where are we now? So we need to output that value. So that is why you are going to use the output variables. Okay. So what is output variables? So it's to going to get information about your infrastructure. Okay. And after the deployment, examples like your VPC ID and your IP, public IP, and all this stuff, sir. So something, if you want to output something to outside, those are the examples. So again, so input variables are, so input variables are having different types. Usually in other program language, you can define variables in there are three kinds of input variables. One is strings, lists, and maps. Maps are nothing but a dictionaries. So strings is pretty much like one key equal to value. Okay, it can be integer, it can be anything. So you need to define it in interpolation if it is okay. And then before that, you need to know what is interpolation, right? Interpolation is the notation where you mention this notation, like curly braces. This is called interpolation. Okay, so that this is a notation of expressing your mathematical or variable operations. That is called interpolation in Terraform or any other programming language. So you are going to use the interpolation for your variables. So you are going to, how you are going to get the variables using interpolation. Okay, for example, if you have a variable equal to let's write very simple value, equal equal to value. This is called string. Okay, in lists, usually what will happen, you will have multiple lists like array. For example, regions. Okay, okay, east A. Okay, US East 1A. Okay, US East 2A. Okay, US East 3A. So this is an example for list. So then, so what are the maps? So it's a maps is collection of strings and values, right? It's like a dictionary, key value pairs. Okay. So if you have multiple values, right? Then you need to define a map. Okay. For example, your map is going to be uh, assume if you have some name called what do you call your, for example, you have a server configuration. Okay, sorry, sf. Okay, let's put sf as a configuration. What you do is, okay, you are gonna say, you're gonna define your configuration. Okay, small plan is going to be what, you are gonna get what, 1 GB, 1 CPU RAM. Okay, and 50 GB hard disk. Okay, and 2 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM, 50 GB SSD. Okay. So and then big plan, right? Medium plan. So this is how it works. You're going to get what? This one you're going to get 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, 50 GB. Hey, I'm going to unmute you all if you have any questions, because is the Zoom session is going to be end now in a minute. I just, hey, with what link did you guys join? Hey, can you? I'm unmuting you guys. So the session is going to end in 4 minutes.
Right.
Are you guys clear? Because okay, let's do one thing. Okay.
Tell me, Guru.
1 second. Okay, just so okay. The session is going to end in 4 minutes. Sorry, I got the free version. Can you guys able to rejoin the same session, or you want me to send? Do you guys have the phone number?
Phone.
Can I get your phone number so I can send you the emails? Do you have emails?
Yeah, okay. You want my numbers, right?
No, send me email. Send me emails. Can you please ping me email?
Okay.
Because I can send you the new one. Thiru, can you please ping your email?
Where do I ping it? Like, okay, yeah, here I'll do it.
In chat.
Just I sent an email ID.
Cool. Because I'm gonna send you the new one. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for the trouble.
Sorry. Spelling mistake. Sorry, Guru. 1 second. One more time.
Are you getting this tutorial?
Yeah, sorry.
You're understand. You're following me, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I do.
Cool.
Take my.
Perfect. I'm gonna send you the new
No.
one.
Right, correct. Yes, correct.
I'm gonna send you the new session. So if you guys have any questions, do you guys have any questions? I'm sending you.
Nothing.
I send you text message. So after that, I will be sending new session ID. Okay, please try to join. Sorry for the inconvenience, man. So for any other questions before that, before we drop off, Thiru,
Yeah, we are with. We are
No.
good right now.
Thiru, you are getting,
Yes.
because I'm going to ask you questions. Once you guys are done, I'm going to ask you a few more questions after this in the new call. Okay. So I'm going to close
Yeah.
this session and I'm going to send you the new one in a minute. Okay. Bye.